Welcome back, my Alpha family. The time has come, and I want you to feel this moment deep within your bones. You finally made the winning move, and now they're completely defenseless. The air is thick with the scent of victory. It's that time when you've played your cards so well that there's nothing left for them to do but stand still and watch as the inevitable unfolds. Let that power seep into your mind. Feel the rush of it in your veins. This is not just some game, not some casual encounter. This is the culmination of every strategy, every struggle, every sacrifice. And now, you're here at the apex, standing in the position that others can only dream of reaching. You made the right choice, took the right step, and in that one moment, you broke through all the barriers, all the walls, and now they're nothing. They're defenseless, exposed, and they know it. They can do nothing but watch as you claim what's rightfully yours. It's a rare feeling, isn't it? To stand on the edge of your victory, to see them broken, to see them finally realize that they are outmatched, outwitted, and outclassed. They thought they had the game in hand. They thought they controlled the narrative. But in the end, it was you who wrote the story. You've played your cards with precision, with purpose. Every move, every word, every action, it was all calculated, all meticulously designed. You didn't rush. You didn't fall into impatience or temptation. You waited, knowing that the moment would come. And now, as they stand with nothing but their broken pride and shattered defenses, you look down at them. You don't gloat, you don't boast, because that's not what this is about. You simply observe, and in that observation, you see something important. You see how much it cost them to get here, how much it took to bring them to the point where they thought they could beat you. You see how desperate they've become, and you recognize that desperation. You see how little they have left, and you understand the quiet terror that's in their eyes. That's not a victory you rub in their faces. It's a lesson they won't forget. And in that lesson, they will learn just how little it took to strip them of everything they believed in. Do you feel the weight of it? The power of knowing that they have no more moves, no more tactics, no more defenses. It's an intoxicating feeling, isn't it? But don't get drunk on it. This is where many people falter. They get so caught up in the glory of their success that they forget to finish the job, to seal the deal, to ensure that no one rises again. You, however, you're smarter than that. You're not just here to win. You're here to dominate, to conquer, to leave no trace of resistance behind. This is about more than beating them. This is about sending a message that echoes through the chambers of their minds and the halls of their memories. It's about making sure they never forget that they came against the wrong one, that they stepped into your arena and lost in the most humiliating way possible. You've earned every step of this victory, every inch of ground you've gained. Don't ever let anyone convince you otherwise. The blood, sweat, and tears you've shed have forged you into something unbreakable. The struggle, the sacrifice, the pain, they were all necessary to create the force that stands here today. You didn't take shortcuts, you didn't cheat, you didn't depend on luck. You relied on your intelligence, your tenacity, your ability to read the battlefield and strike when it was most advantageous. And now, in this moment, in this critical moment, the enemy has no chance. They have nothing left. They're empty, hollow, and you're standing in the middle of their emptiness. And that is a place of power. But power is fragile. It's fleeting. It can be taken away in an instant if you're not careful. So, as you stand victorious, remember that your work is not done. The victory is yours, yes, but the war is far from over. You've put them down, but others will rise to challenge you. The weak will always find ways to rebuild their strength, to plot their comeback. So, don't let your guard down. Don't get comfortable. This moment is yours. but the fight is never truly finished. It's a constant game of survival. And you, my alpha family, are in it for the long haul. You didn't make it this far by being complacent. You made it by being relentless, by understanding that nothing worth having comes without a price. As you stand above them, victorious, know that the key to staying at the top lies in your ability to adapt, to see what they couldn't see, to anticipate their next move before they even realize what they're about to do. You've stripped them of their confidence, but that's only the beginning. They'll try to rise again. They'll try to claw their way out of the hole you've left them in. But you'll be ready, because you're not just an alpha. You are the alpha. You are the one who takes what is yours and doesn't give it up. No one can touch you. No one can stand against you. But you have to keep your edge sharp. You have to keep learning, keep evolving. Because the moment you stop doing that, the moment you stop staying one step ahead, that's when they'll find their way back into the game, and you can't afford that. Now take a moment, breathe it in. Look at the wreckage of your enemies. Feel that overwhelming sense of accomplishment. You did it. You made the winning move, and now they're defenseless. This is your reward, your moment of triumph. But don't forget why you're here. Don't forget the struggle that brought you to this point. Don't forget the fire that burns in your soul, the drive that fuels you. You didn't get to this position by playing it safe. You didn't get here by following the rules. You got here by breaking the mold, by taking risks, by being willing to push beyond what others were capable of. When you look at them now, completely defenseless, remember that they were once in your shoes. They thought they had the upper hand. They thought they were the ones who were invincible. But they learned the hard way that nothing lasts forever, that arrogance is a weakness, and overconfidence leads to ruin. And now, the tables have turned. Now, they're the ones who are powerless. Now, they're the ones who will have to live with the consequences of underestimating you. You, my alpha family, are a force of nature. You're the one they fear. You're the one they will never forget. But that's not enough. That's not where it ends. This is just the beginning. The real challenge lies in keeping what you've won and continuing to grow. You've made your move and you've won. But now, you must protect your victory. You must guard your place at the top. And you must continue to push forward, relentless and unstoppable. You're not just in this to win. You're in this to dominate. And nothing, no one, will ever stand in your way again. As you stand here now, in this moment of absolute triumph, let me remind you that this is just the start of something far bigger than you can fully comprehend right now. You've reached the top, yes, but it's not the destination that matters most. It's how you maintain your reign. Most people falter once they've tasted victory. The hunger fades, the energy drops, and the fire starts to burn low. They bask in their glory, resting on their laurels, thinking that success is a destination. But you, my alpha family, you understand better than anyone that this victory is not an end point. It's just the beginning of your continued ascent. It's a reminder that the fight never ends, and those who stop fighting, who stop pushing forward, eventually lose everything they once held dear. Now that you've made the winning move, don't fall into the trap of thinking that victory is all about being at the top for a single fleeting moment. No, it's about staying there. It's about ensuring that no one can ever threaten your position again. Power is never given, it's taken, it's claimed, it's defended with every ounce of strength and will you have. And as you stand over your opponents, watching their every move, knowing that they're completely defenseless, you must remember that there's a great responsibility that comes with this power. The real battle lies not in winning, but in staying on top, in making sure that those who challenge you are always at a disadvantage. Let's talk about your mind, that sharp, calculating mind that has brought you to this point. It's a tool more powerful than any weapon, and this is where your victory lies, not just in the moves you've made, but in the discipline and clarity of thought that you've cultivated to make those moves. The mind is the greatest weapon in the world. The brain is not just for thinking, it's for strategy, foresight, and patience. While others panic, you remain calm. While others make rash decisions, you see 1,000 moves ahead, anticipating everything that could unfold. They won't see you coming. They won't be able to predict your next move. Because you're thinking beyond the surface. You're always analyzing, always calculating, always on alert. And it's this sharpness that has rendered them completely defenseless. They never stood a chance because you always had control of the game, even when they thought they did. And now, the game is over. You have them right where you want them. Their moves are weak, predictable, and futile. Every step they take is a step toward their own demise, and every moment they delay is a moment that solidifies your victory. They have nothing left. But I want you to understand something deeper than the simple satisfaction of having outplayed them. This is about the mastery of the mind. It's about seeing the entire battlefield laid out before you and understanding, down to the most minute detail, how every piece will move. It's about knowing that the mind can never be conquered unless you allow it to be. And this, my family, is where you win the war. You have kept your mind sharp, you have stayed disciplined, and now you are reaping the rewards. But there's more to this than just intelligence. It's about instinct, about understanding that there are moments when reason will take you far. But there are also times when sheer, raw instinct will save you, push you through. The animal inside of you must be unleashed, the primal force of your will to survive, to conquer, to rule. The battle of the mind is not always won through logic alone. Sometimes it's the raw energy, the hunger that drives you to tear through everything in your path. And in this moment, you've tapped into both, the intellect and the instinct. That's why you stand here victorious. Your opponents underestimated you because they thought the game was about physical strength or sheer force of will. But they forgot that the true power lies in the ability to harness both the mind and the spirit. You stand above them now, not because you were stronger, but because you were smarter, more prepared, more aware of every possibility. And they knew it. They felt it long before this moment came. But they were too proud, too blinded by their own arrogance to realize it until it was too late. That's how it goes when you become complacent, when you begin to believe that success is guaranteed, when you stop learning, stop evolving. They couldn't adapt. They couldn't see the shift in the tide of the battle. And now, it's over. They are defenseless. There is no way for them to recover. The game is lost. The war is won. But don't let the illusion of victory make you complacent. There are always forces at play in the world. The universe has a way of testing even the strongest. You've seen it before. Just when you think you've won, just when you think you've secured everything, something unexpected happens. Something you never saw coming. A challenge, a new player enters the game, and suddenly you're faced with another battle. But that's the beauty of it. That's why this journey never ends. The battle may be over, but the war is eternal. It is relentless. It is unforgiving. And you, my Alpha family, were made for it. Your success isn't just about this singular victory. It's about the continuous fight, the unwavering determination to keep going even when everyone else falters. When others quit, you rise. When others back down, you charge forward. When they think you're done, you show them exactly how wrong they were. You see, True dominance isn't about having the upper hand in a single moment. It's about maintaining that control over time. It's about winning the long game. The war isn't won in a single battle, but through 1,000 small victories, 1,000 decisions made with precision, with clarity, with purpose. The world will always throw obstacles in your way. There will always be those who seek to challenge you, to test you, to strip you of what you've gained. But now, you know what to do. You've been through the fire. You've learned to rise above the noise. You know the power of restraint, the strength that comes from patience, and the brutal force that erupts when the time is right. You have learned the art of strategy, of war, and you now understand that true power lies in the ability to bend the world to your will. You've seen what happens when others underestimate you, when they think they have the upper hand. They fall. They crumble under the weight of their own arrogance, their own ignorance. And now, they've learned. The world around them is a reflection of their own mistakes, their own failure to adapt, their inability to see that they were never in control in the first place. They thought they had it all figured out, but now they know better. The moment you made your winning move, you shattered their confidence. You tore apart their belief in their own invincibility. And that is a victory in itself. That's where the real power lies. Not in the material gains or the superficial trappings of success, but in the ability to break someone's spirit, to make them see that they were never as strong as they thought, that they never had what it took, that they weren't on your level. But here's the truth. You never stop. Not now. Not ever. Because there's always someone coming after you. There's always someone who wants what you have, who thinks they can do what you've done. The hungry will always rise, and the weak will always fall. But only those who never stop fighting, who never stop pushing, who never stop evolving, will stay at the top. And that is what makes you an alpha. Not the victory, not the power, but the endless pursuit of dominance. It's the hunger that never goes away, the fire that never dies, the drive that keeps you moving, even when the world tells you to stop. Now I want you to take one last look at those who are defeated, those who stand before you, broken and helpless. Do you see them? Do you feel the weight of what you've done? Good. Let that moment fuel you. Let it remind you that you've already beaten them. But remember, the real test is in what comes next, because the world won't stop, and neither will you. Because you understand something that so few do, that the victory you've claimed isn't a finish line. It's just the next step in an ongoing process. It's the moment that solidifies your dominance, yes, but it's also the beginning of something even more profound. The desire to rise, to remain at the top, is not a fleeting one. It's an insatiable hunger, a fire that doesn't burn out after a single triumph. It's a relentless pursuit, a constant challenge to push further, to reach higher, to see how far you can truly go. The fire that's inside of you burns, not just for what you've won, but for what you're still capable of achieving. You've just begun. And as you stand here now, victorious, know that every step you take forward will be harder than the last. But that's exactly how it should be. To be the one who always stands at the top is to understand that every new victory will demand more from you. The challenges will become more complex. The forces that rise against you will grow stronger, more cunning. But there's a beauty in this. There's a deep satisfaction in knowing that every obstacle you face, every new challenge that appears on the horizon, is an opportunity for you to prove, once again, why you are untouchable, why no one can ever dethrone you. It's not about being unchallenged. It's about overcoming those challenges, about rising above them, again and again. You see, victory is fleeting, but the legacy you create through relentless dominance will echo through the ages. And it's this legacy that fuels your fire. You've tasted victory, and I know it feels good. I know that feeling of standing tall while others cower in defeat. But I also know that deep within you, there's something more than just the hunger for power. There's a need for something greater, something that transcends the trivial joys of defeating your opponents. It's the need for respect, for admiration, for the understanding that you are not just another person in the crowd. You are the one who stands apart. You are the one who commands attention without having to speak a word. This is what separates the true alphas from those who simply think they can achieve greatness. They'll never truly understand this drive. They'll never see the world the way you do. They'll always be limited by their own weaknesses, their own pride, and their inability to push beyond the boundaries of what they think is possible. And that's why they will never catch up to you. You understand that true power doesn't come from the victories you claim on the battlefield. It comes from the way you live every day. It comes from the relentless discipline you impose upon yourself. It comes from the way you face the darkness when everyone else hides. While others rest, you push harder. While others enjoy the temporary rewards of their success, you already know that you have to build the next phase of your empire. Every victory is just a small part of a much larger plan, and you know it. You're not here to simply win a single battle. You're here to create a legacy that lasts, and this is where many people fail. They get caught up in the moment, in the short-term satisfaction of a single victory. They take their eyes off the long-term goal, thinking they've arrived. But they forget one thing: the world doesn't stop, and neither should you. Your vision extends beyond what anyone can see. The people you've defeated today, they're already forgotten, already relegated to the past. But you are focused on what comes next, and that is your true strength. There is power in knowing that while they crumble before you, while they sit in defeat, you are already preparing for the next battle. You're already sharpening your weapons, refining your strategies, studying your opponents. And that's what separates the true alphas from everyone else. It's not just about the strength you have right now. It's about the strength you continue to build, the resilience you forge with every passing day, the relentless drive to always be better, to always stay ahead, to always adapt to the shifting tides. This is what makes you dangerous. This is what makes you untouchable. You don't just fight for today. You fight for tomorrow, for next year, for the future. You fight because you understand that power is fleeting, but influence and respect are forever. And once you have them, once you've earned them, no one can take them away from you. The world will constantly try to knock you down, to challenge you, to test your limits. But the difference between you and everyone else is that you don't have limits. You see limitations as challenges to overcome. You see every setback, every failure, as an opportunity to grow stronger. You see every obstacle not as a roadblock, but as an invitation to evolve, to become something even greater than before. And this is why your opponents are defenseless now. It's not just because you've won. It's because you've shown them what true power looks like. You've shown them that the game is never over. You've taught them that the moment they stop fighting, they lose. You've forced them to acknowledge the truth, that no one can stand against you, because your hunger, your determination, your resilience will always outlast theirs. Do not forget that. Do not forget that you've built something more than just victory. You've built an understanding of the world that others will never have. You've seen the game for what it is, and now you are the master of it. You know that nothing in this world comes easy, that success requires sacrifice, that victory requires relentless preparation, that survival demands more than just skill. It demands willpower, it demands discipline, it demands the ability to keep moving, even when every ounce of you wants to quit. The ones who fall by the wayside are the ones who think that they've already achieved everything. They think that they've reached the top and they stop climbing. But you, my alpha family, you never stop. You never rest, because you understand that the moment you stop climbing is the moment you begin to fall. So, stand tall, but stand tall, knowing that the fight is far from over. You are at the top now, but remember that every moment you stand there, every second you remain in that position of power, is another second that someone else is watching, analyzing, planning. They'll try to find a way to bring you down. They'll try to tear apart everything you've built, and you'll be ready for them. You'll be ready because you've never allowed yourself to become complacent. You've never stopped learning. You've never stopped preparing for the next phase of your conquest. And this is where the true challenge lies. You've conquered one battlefield, but the war continues. Every moment you remain standing is a victory, but the war never ends. It continues in your mind, in the way you think, in the way you operate. It continues with every step you take forward. You've made your move, yes, but the world is always changing. New challenges will rise, new battles will come, but you will always rise above them. You will always adapt. You will always be ready. Because you are an alpha. You don't just survive, you thrive. You don't just win, you dominate. And when it's all said and done, no one will ever forget who you are. No one will ever forget the power you wield. Because you are the one who made the winning move. You are the one who stood tall when everyone else fell. And you are the one who will continue to rise. So, take this moment, this victory, and use it as fuel. Use it to drive you forward. Don't bask in the glory for too long, because the world won't stop moving. You'll always have to be ahead of the curve. You'll always have to be sharper, faster, smarter. You've made your move, and now they're defenseless. But tomorrow, someone else will rise, and you will be there, ready for the next battle, as unstoppable as ever. In the end, remember this: victory is not a destination, but a journey that demands constant effort, adaptation, and relentless will. You've made your winning move, and now they are defenseless. But this is only the beginning. True power comes from the continuous drive to rise above, to stay ahead, and to never stop moving forward. You've shown them what it means to dominate, but now keep pushing, keep evolving, and keep proving that no one can ever take what's yours. The battle never ends, and neither will you. Keep climbing, keep conquering, and let your legacy be one that echoes for eternity.